Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Video Lowdown. Really excited to have you guys here today. Our guest today is fantastic and quite a unique guest at that. He's known as Hardcore Gamer on YouTube, runs a YouTube channel, is a one-man studio that reviews and does really interesting, in his words, punk rock video game reviews. Likeable, passionate, really nice guy. I've known Sam for a little while now. This guy's using YouTube to build a really solid following. Before we meet Sam in person, virtually in person, and we get into the episode, let's take a little look at the beginning of one of his videos.
This week sees the release of the eagerly anticipated Sonic the Hedgehog live-action movie, which is now infinitely less terrifying. So to celebrate the milestone of Sonic getting his very first live-action appearance, I thought it would be a good time to take a look at another milestone in Sonic's career, his first appearance in 3D. This is Sonic Jam. Sonic Jam, released in 19...
Amazing stuff. I'm so jealous of all the toys and stuff you've got in your background, man. I think I got rid of those like when I was about 11. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Most of my toys are stuff I've already bought since I was 11, so not a lot of my childhood. Yeah.
I can see the little Power Ranger tucked away in the corner there. I'm sure we'll talk about that later because that is a fascinating bit of kit you've got there. But loving the setup there, mate. Loving the little Mario cushion you've got. It's brilliant. I'd love to come and have a little dig around. Sam, thanks, mate, for joining me today. Your YouTube channel, Hardcore Gamer, is quite popular. You've hit 300 subs today, which is fantastic. You know, where did your love of games come from? Talk to me a little bit about your journey from where you were, you know, before you even considered getting onto YouTube and doing this kind of unique punk rock style video game reviews.
Well, I've always kind of been in games. I think we're a similar age, so obviously I grew up with home computers, so my very first games console was a Spectrum. If you're into gaming, it was a 48K plus with the plastic keys. Yeah, and then from then I moved on to an original Nintendo, the NES, which not a lot of people had in the UK, which I'm finding out.
No, I think I had a SNES. Yeah, I think it was a SNES for me.
Well, a lot of people had Mega Drives or Master Systems, and not a lot of people had Nintendos over here. Master System was kind of the big one, and then home computers were still kind of ticking around at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've kind of just always been into gaming and technology and stuff, and so moving from Spectrum to Nintendo to Mega Drive, and then next big one was a PlayStation, and then kind of moving on from there. It's just something that's not gone away. It just hasn't gone anywhere. It's always been a part of me.
And I think it hasn't gone from the public mind, but some people like yourself just cling to it that little bit more, and it becomes a really passionate hobby and a love. And obviously we can see from your room there that it's not just gaming, it's the merch that goes with it. It's all the stuff, the collectibles, the stuff that you can collect and, you know, probably accumulates value over time, so that your retirement is probably pretty well sorted, I would have thought, by the time you get to 70.
Well, my partner thinks I'm a bit of a hoarder because I buy a lot of collectibles, but I don't tend to get rid of anything. So everything's still here.
Amazing, mate. Amazing. So I know you've got a bit of a background in kind of film design and the creative elements. So although computer games have always been a love for you, how did then you start to like bring the two together? You know, talk to me a little bit about your kind of creative background and how that then led to you to merging your love of games and your love of kind of creative and video content.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been into film and animation and like cartoons and things like that. Like, always been obsessed with that sort of stuff. As soon as I was old enough to know what a video camera was, I was trying to play with them. So we didn't have one growing up because they were quite expensive back in the 80s and 90s.
They were. Yeah.
But when I started school, anytime there was an excuse to make a video project, I'd make a video project. Literally editing from camera to VHS, like doing it that way, like proper old school style. Then when I finished school at 16, I went to college and I did a BTEC in media studies, which is super film based, more film based than I think it is now, actually. Because we did an NCFE film production certificate at the same time, so we got the BTEC and this NCFE, which I don't know if it means anything, but we were
at the time, maybe at the time.
Yeah. Well, we were using massive, great big cameras. Like, it's all on SVHS at that point. So big SVHS cameras, editing on SVHS editing, like linear editing machines.
Oh,
They
so
had
cool.
one computer.
So good.
One computer was running Premiere 2, I think, and we used to use it for for titles. That was all we ever used this
Yeah,
computer
yeah.
for. And then I basically played around with it and discovered, oh, you can do other stuff in it, and was tinkering around using Premiere at that point. Then at that point, I was super into skateboarding. So I managed to save up some money from a part-time job I was working, bought my own video camera, and I'd just go and film my friends and make little skate videos. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Amazing.
Jackass was a big thing at that point, so we'd be making our own Jackass stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can we see this stuff? Is it anywhere online?
It's not online, no. Weirdly though, I've got
Got loads of little mini
loads
DV
of,
tapes.
I've got,
Oh, yeah, look at those.
they're actually high 8
Nice.
tapes. Yeah, I've got my
Wow.
camera. I'm hoping to start digitizing some of that stuff soon, actually, because there's some cool
Yeah,
stuff
do
on
it, mate.
there. I think there's actually
Fantastic.
a video me and my friends made. I think is online. It's called The Amateurs, which was like a rip off of The Professionals. It's like this kind of chase scene thing, which is that's floating around somewhere on there. But yeah, so making skate videos, sort of editing little bits and bobs on my really old like 486 PC at that point that could just about handle exporting clips via Firewire. Remember Firewire?
Yeah, man, I do remember Firewire. Yeah.
And then just playing around doing that sort of thing. And then I went to uni really late on, so I worked for 5 years, skated, bombed around,
Yeah.
did that sort of thing. Spent some time in America, and then decided I wanted to go to uni. So I went back to college, did a BTEC foundation diploma in fine art, and then went to study animation at university, which was, as well as animation, I did 2D digital animation, which is like your Disney style, your hand drawn,
Yeah,
proper,
yeah. Nice.
20,
Love that
25
stuff.
frames a second stuff. Yes, it's really fun to do. It's just really time consuming. But as well as that, it's film. So you have your pre-production, your post-production, color theory, storyboarding, all that stuff, as well as the actual animation, and then your post-production. So your editing, your marketing, Foley, all that sort of stuff. And at that point, I had Final Cut Pro on my laptop at that time.
I love
I was
Final Cut
filming. Final Cut Pro was great. They've kind of ruined it now. It's not good. It just feels like iMovie now.
Yeah, it does, but you get the hardcore Final Cut X lovers that go, no, it's not. It's fantastic, but you work with what you know, and I am an Adobe Premiere fanatic. Yeah. I love it. I love the whole suite. I do when I do try and use Final Cut X, I just don't get on with it. But then maybe I'm not giving it a chance. But hey.
I was using Final Cut because I basically got it for free. But yeah, I use Premiere Pro now because I've got the Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I finished uni, I started doing. I used to do a YouTube channel where I'd review toys. It's not great. I don't recommend you go looking for it. It's kind of me just like kind of messing around and doing stuff. And then I just kind of do bits and pieces by myself.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping that channel wasn't called Hardcore Toys.
No, it wasn't.
Hopefully not. No. All right. I didn't wonder if it got pulled down or taken down from an inappropriate name.
If you really want to find it, it's called Plastic Crack.
Okay, equally as suggestive, I think. Yeah. That's good. Plastic Crack. Wow. Okay.
Plastic Crack. Yeah. It wasn't. I
do want to see it.
20 videos. Maybe I'll give you some links privately later on so you can check it out. Yeah, so
amazing.
Because I've always been into gaming. I've always watched like gaming YouTube channels and stuff. And I was always more into the kind of the reviews and the in-depth stuff than the Let's Plays, even though I do enjoy watching the Let's Play stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just one day decided I wanted to do that myself. I think I could do a good thing with it. So it took about a month. I sort of got bits and pieces together. At that point, I was literally using the webcam I'm using now built into my iMac, and a SingStar microphone, and filming stuff directly that way. Yeah. To make these videos, and now, my setup's a little bit more advanced, but we'll go over that in a bit. And I just decided to do it, and now it's kind of taken off, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, mate. It's really cool, and I've been following your channel for a little while, and I do like your style. I like you can clearly tell that you're passionate about gaming, and your editing knowledge. Your little sting at the beginning, the hardcore gamer sting. It all fits together really nicely. So I think you've done a really fantastic job of that. Gaming is obviously huge. Some of the best known millionaire YouTubers started with kind of their gameplay videos, game reviews. You know, I read a stat recently actually that apparently there's over 3.8 million channels just dedicated solely, and this was like sometime, I think it's like middle of last year, that are solely dedicated to gameplay. That is that, I mean, that is insane. I mean, maybe when you look at the how many channels there are on YouTube, you know, totally, that's probably a drop in the ocean. But to be fair, 3.8 million channels. So why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think people are able to bring their passion of gaming and video streaming and kind of form that into a bit of entertainment? Why do you think that's happened so much over the last few years?
Well, I think with gaming, it's unless you play a lot of kind of online multiplayer stuff, gaming is a very solitary thing. Like my favorite gaming experiences are just me, TV, and a controller. You know, no
Yeah,
other
yeah.
outside distractions, just sort of getting sucked in. So I think it's kind of a way to, I guess, share that experience with people.
Mm,
I know I've played games on my own where I've made like not as to the extent of let's plays, but you've been like, oh, that was cool, or oh yeah, I wish I could show somebody that as you've played
yeah.
the game. So I think it's just building a community around, you know, your shared love of gaming and kind of showing what that bringing that solitary experience of gaming out to the masses, I guess. Yeah, as you said, though,
Really
gaming
interesting.
on gaming on YouTube is absolutely enormous. So there's the amount of subscribers in gaming. I mean, the most subscribed channels on YouTube are gaming channels.
Mm,
Like, there's a reason I now have the YouTube gaming as a separate entity.
yes. Yeah.
But I think it's just a way to people to share their passions, and I think because of the way YouTube is, it almost gets people more hyped to make a better product. So they want
Yeah.
to have the fancy graphics, the better cameras, the better lighting. It's just a better way for them to create more of a product that people are going to watch.
Mm. Yeah, man, I hear you. And so, did you have, when you first started out, did you just think, sod it, I'm going to just do it myself, do what I want, how I want it? Or did you have people that you followed on YouTube? Did you have people that, you know, other gamers that you were kind of inspired by and you thought, actually, I'm going to, you know, I kind of like the way that that person does that and I like the way this person does this? Or did you just think, do you know what, I'm just going to carve my own niche, do my own thing?
And when I first started, because I was watching a lot of YouTube reviews and stuff, I kind of wanted to take like bits and pieces of what they did and kind of do that in my own way. So
Mm,
rather than being like I'm going to do everything myself, or I'm going to be influenced by these, it's like I guess it's the same with anything. You take bits and pieces of what you like, and then you're like,
yeah.
oh, I can do that differently, or I can change that, or I can do that differently. So I think it's just a case of picking your influences and not necessarily wearing them on your sleeve, but having them sort of in your back pocket. That's a bit of a
Yeah.
weird way to word it, but
But you've got your unique stuff ready to go, because obviously I guess gameplay is quite unique to the individual, isn't it? You know, I do love gaming, but I'm not what you would class a gamer. Like, I've got a PS4,
yeah,
I've got Call of Duty, I've got Apex Legends. You know, I play stuff like that with my stepson, and it's cool and I like it, but I've got very little patience. The minute I start dying, or the minute I find
yeah,
something too hard, I'm like, nah, I'm just going to put Netflix back on now. So I used to,
yeah.
I went from a PlayStation 1 and had, absolutely loved gaming growing up. I had a Master System 2. Remember Saturday mornings getting up, putting on Sonic before my mum woke up. Oh, it's fantastic, mate. Scar, whatever happened to Scar, man? I mean, that was quality connection. And,
HDMI is infinitely better.
yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Although my stepson's Xbox HDMI recently broke.
Oh God.
Wrong. Bad. It was bad. Yeah, really, really bad. He didn't take that well at all. I had to get it shipped off for repair. It came back and
Mm.
it's all good now anyway. So sometimes this more modern technology can be a little bit more flimsy than what we're the hard, massive brick SCARTs and the cables that we're used to.
Oh,
But
the
I think that's
AV
really
cables.
interesting, mate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. You need like 4 different things just to make it work on the telly.
Tuning it in on channel 3.
Tuning it, yeah, I forgot about that actually. Wondering why it wasn't
Yeah.
working on channel 9. Going through all
Well,
the channels with the white noise. Fantastic, mate. So
coaxial leads.
yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia, isn't there, in gaming?
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
it's almost
definitely. Yeah.
bringing, these YouTube channels and the type of videos that you're producing is, like we saw in your intro doing Sonic Jams. Like you're able to mix that level of that feeling of nostalgia from games gone by, but with new technology, you can bring that experience into the now through
Mm.
recording the screen, through the voiceover, through all the animated graphics, but people still get a sense. Do you think as well that that is what helps? That's what has helped the gaming YouTube community grow so quickly. Is that feeling of, because new games are cool, but I would probably be more inclined to watch gameplay videos of stuff from the Master System or stuff from the Mega Drive.
I think it's about that balance. I think you do get a lot of the kind of like the retro gaming community on YouTube is absolutely huge, but then you get people that want to ride those trends. So if, let's say, the new Call of Duty comes out, like Warzone comes out, people are going to be playing Warzone because people are going to want to see that.
Of course,
you see that more so on Twitch because where people are actually live streaming. You know, people do that on YouTube as well, but a lot of the Let's Play stuff, say, is following the trends. But even at that point, like the Sonic movie came out, so a lot of people are going to want to go back and play the old Sonic games.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of a lot of the time it kind of works both ways, really. So you people that want to watch the retro stuff to do their memories, people that want to play the new stuff, and people want to ride those trends and have that stuff out. I mean, that's kind of why I did Sonic Jam. The video we saw at the start was because the Sonic movie came out. So I'm like, oh, people might be searching for Sonic.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
I'm very much kind of like, I'll do what I want. I'll review whatever game I want at whatever time I want to review it, which may explain why I don't have millions of subscribers thinking about it. But there are times where I will try and get onto a trend. Like I did a whole thing last year with Spider-Man games. When Spider-Man Far From Home was released in the cinemas, I did 4 Spider-Man games. I did a Spider-Man game a week for a month.
I saw those. It was cool, man.
Spider-Man
PS4, my favourite game. Favourite game of all time.
I absolutely love that game.
Yeah, it's incredible. If people watching this would be like, "What? I don't even know there was a game out." What?
Yeah, Spider-Man PS4.
It's
great.
So good. Anyway, need to stop fanboying over stuff. Yeah, man, it's cool. I do love. I absolutely love what you're doing. So yours is obviously a creative outlet. You've got all those skills of video production and editing, and you love gaming. You're merging your hobby with social media and sharing it with people. So does this open doors for you? I spoke to a guest a couple of episodes ago who's in the health and safety industry, and he was saying that doing this kind of content and putting videos out regularly was helping him. It was basically opening doors for him to meet people in the industry that he might not have otherwise had the opportunity to. So is some of the content you're producing getting you in front of other more high profile gamers? Is that helping you with getting more followers and fans? What do you think?
Well, a lot of that is through Twitter, obviously promoting videos and things like that.
Okay.
I do have, I guess I'm part of quite a nice little community on Twitter. Twitter is a hell site of horrible people unless you've got a really nice bubble. So I've got this nice little bubble of like retro gaming people that I kind of talk to and chat with. So in that respect, it's been really good. I've got quite a few sort of known YouTubers that subscribe to me and that follow me on Twitter and have like regular conversations and stuff with. And then occasionally you get things like, I've not had a huge amount of this, but like brand deals and endorsements where people will contact you because they like your style and want you to sell something for them or want you to look at their review their games and things for them. So it does happen. I mean, I had a little bit of experience with that, but not being a big dog, I don't tend to get a huge amount. But
of course,
it's good when it happens. But yeah, I think just showing that you're passionate about something and showing that you're, I guess, for lack of a better word, like serious about it. You're not just like, oh, YouTube, gaming's big on YouTube, I'm going to make a gaming channel. And like 2 weeks later, you haven't got 1 million subscribers, so you quit. I think it's just showing that you're kind of in it for the long haul sort of thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's what YouTube is, though. It's very rare that overnight success, even the top games, like, look at Dan TDM, one of the highest earners, that would have taken years for him to build that channel to where it is. My stepdaughter watches LD Shadow Lady, who does all the Minecraft videos, and she's just hit 5 million subscribers, but it took her 6 years to get to 1 million. So it took her 6 years to get to 1 million subscribers and then 4 years to do another 4, because that momentum was built up because she was consistent, posting all the time. I mean, what you're saying about that, when you get to that level, though, it becomes a business then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is your passion merged, your hobby merged with your abilities and gaming, but then you're looking at a business, because if you're hitting 5 million subs, you're monetize, you're making a lot of money from that, and therefore it's now a business. And some people will find that fun. Some people will go, I just kind of wanted to do this for, for fun. But although the money that you get from 5 million subs, I don't think people are going to be too complaining about that, in all fairness.
I mean, give me 5 million subs so I can make it my job, then I'll do it for a living.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. So one thing I thought was really interesting when we spoke before the episode was you were asked by an actual license holder of a game to do a review. So rather than you just picking a game off the shelf and going, I'm going to review this, is the license holder the same as the creator of the game?
Well,
or is that the distributor?
This instance was an interest. I sort of alluded to it a little bit in the previous question. But yeah, it's the license holder that I think it's. I'm trying to think of a decent way to describe it. Basically, it was from an old game that was on the Commodore 64 called Bounder. And basically, this person had bought the license and owned the rights to the game and had basically ported it onto phones. So there's an iOS version, there was an Android version.
Okay.
And it was basically an app that contained the C64 version, the Amstrad CPC version, and the Spectrum version. So you could play, like, you switch between the three versions.
Nice.
So I think they owned the license, but they produced this app themselves, which essentially ported these games over.
Understood. Yeah.
So they owned the rights. Yeah. And yeah, they basically put out like an open call on Twitter, which a lot of companies do, saying, "Hey, we've got this product. Anyone want to review it?" sort of thing.
Okay.
And normally people of my level, they just completely ignore. Like, no one ever like I've done it a few times before where, like, you know, someone. I'm on like CD Projekt Red. I'm on their mailing list. I'll get their mails, but they'll never send me promos or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not at that level. They don't care about what I have to say because I've not got the viewers essentially. But this company was like, "Yeah, we'll give you a code so you can download it and see what you can do with it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. So
you.
yeah, and not a lot of people got asked. So I think only about probably 5 or 6 other YouTubers were asked to do it. So it was very surreal. I mean, they basically gave me a free copy of the game, but that's all I got. I didn't get paid anything for it or
of course.
for an opinion on it. Because if you watch the video, I give a pretty honest opinion on the game. I'm like, it's not,
In a nutshell,
aged well.
Out of 5. Okay.
Out of 5, probably 3 out of 5.
Half.
It's like,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. It's a ported game from an 80s computer. It's not, it's not going to change the world. It's not The Last of Us,
Yeah, love that too. Love that game.
Yeah.
Sorry, stop interrupting. We've loved that game.
We're sidetracking. We're sidetracking. I thought I'd be the one to derail the conversation. But yeah, so I produced the video, gave an honest account of what I thought. It was a game I actually had on the Spectrum back in the day, so it was a game I had kind of a nostalgia for as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they really liked the video. They were sharing it around when the app came out, like retweeting it whenever I posted about it. And yeah, it was, I think if you go on their website, it's listed as part on their review section as well. Yeah, and that's just me saying, it's all right. If you haven't got any nostalgia for it, you probably won't like it. If you have, you might. iOS controls ain't great, essentially.
And is that what they were looking for? They were looking for honest reviews, not make sure you say it's 4-star or 5-star. Well, they were happy with an honest review.
Well, they didn't suggest, like, even hint otherwise. So I just gave an honest account, and they seem to really like it. I guess if you bring out a game and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's great," and then people download it and like, "Hang on, it's rubbish," it's not really a fair view of your product.
Yeah. No, that's fair, mate. That's fair. Well, that's amazing. And do you want to do? Are you open to more opportunities like that? Are you looking for opportunities like that where you can be involved?
I'm totally open
with
for more opportunities. Like, totally open for more stuff. I like brand things like that. Like, if you want to send me copies of your game and I'll play your game and talk about your game, that's cool. Don't guarantee it's going to be a 5-star review if it ain't a 5-star game. Yeah, on my videos, I never give anything ratings. I just say if I like it or not.
Yes.
So nothing's ever out of 10 or anything. I'm just like, it's all right. You might like it. If you like this, you might like it.
It's tricky though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite open for more.
When you used to read the old like Total Film and Empire magazines of the film, and then they'd give an okay review and give it 5-star, or give it an amazing review, but for some reason one thing made it to like, it was just like, what agenda are they actually like? I don't know. Like, it was just never. Sometimes you'd read it and it didn't feel. So you just think actually just saying how you feel about it, I think is a much better way of doing it rather than out of 5. Although I did ask you out of 5, but I don't know what Bounder is. So
that's fine. I think watch the review.
I will.
I think I find it quite problematic as well, having like a point system like that. So if I reviewed Bounder and gave it 4 out of 5 for argument's sake, and then I reviewed, I don't know, Last of Us and gave that 4 out of 5, does that mean that they're equal quality?
Yeah. I hear you.
It's like
No,
it's
it
just kind
doesn't.
of, yeah. That's the thing. Like you're playing a 40-year-old Amstrad game versus a 5-year-old PlayStation 3 game. Are they of the same quality because you've given them the same rating? It's yeah.
It's
So
fair.
I
It's
find that quite
interesting.
difficult. Yeah, to just in my own
Yeah,
head to
no,
balance that kind of the integrity of that.
I think that's really interesting, mate. Really interesting. Yeah. So, right, I want to talk about your actual videos now. The videos that you produce for your channel. Tell
Hmm.
me a little bit about your process. You've got a pretty slick setup. The when you look at some of your videos, they look nice. You've got lots of your merch in the background. The audio's clear. You've got some nice slick graphics. So, although we spoke a little bit about how you've evolved to where you are now, what kind of set? I guess if there's some people watching that are interested in gaming, or are thinking, yeah, maybe I'd like to give it a go and share my experiences. What sort of setup have you got, and what could people use as a base to get started?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I first started with. If you watch some of my really early videos on my channel, literally I was using my webcam from my iMac, which I'm actually using now. I just had it set on a desk in front of me, in front of the sofa, so I'd move my computer so I could film
Yeah.
on that. I was using a microphone from SingStar, which is an old PS2 game, which was plugged in via
I
USB
love
directly into my
I
Mac.
know I love that you're using a accessory from a game to record your audio. It's fantastic.
It's a microphone, isn't it? It
Yeah,
works.
it worked, mate. It does.
Then eventually I was thinking about like a better presentation, so I was thinking of lighting. So I went to Wilkinson's and bought 2 desk lamps. So I had literally 2 desk lamps as my lighting setup. And then kind of as I've gone through, I've kind of upgraded equipment, evolved equipment. So as of right now, like I'm currently in mid production of making a new video. So I'll tell you what I'm using now. Okay, so it's all filmed on my phone. I've got an iPhone 7, so it films
Nice.
in 1080p. So I use that as my camera. I can focus it where I want it, and it works really nicely. You can probably see in the background that way. I'm not used to the camera setup. I've got some photography lights.
Yep.
They're 5,000 watt halogen bulbs, and I've got reflecting umbrellas that I use for those as my
Nice.
lighting
Yep.
setup. I'm using a Pro Sound Studio condenser microphone, which I'm actually using right now, which is how it was shot. I'm not going to move it because it's going to sound horrendous me grabbing the mic stand. Uh, I use that to record my audio, which is recorded through. I've got an Alto Professional. It's actually a ZMX52 mixer, which I record all my audio through, which is
Hmm.
connected directly to my Mac, and I normally record that directly into Audition because it's easier to kind of clean up. So when I'm
Yeah.
recording my
Nice.
videos, I essentially press record on my phone and then record on my computer at the same time. So I record
Yep.
separate audio tracks. Then if anything
Yeah.
does go
Great.
wrong with either track, I can use still in-camera audio, even though it's not great, which I have done a few times.
Yes.
But obviously it's better through the condenser, which then I'll clean up. And then for editing, I use Premiere Pro. I've got the Creative Cloud subscription, so I just do everything with that. All the graphics are
Yeah.
done in Photoshop and then After Effects. Again, going back to animation degree where I learned all that stuff. Actual game capture, I use an Elgato HD, which is quite an old capture card, which plugs directly into my
Oh.
computer. There's some software that
Hmm.
you use to record things. And then the older card is good because it's got HDMI input and it's also got AVI input as well. So I can use a lot of older consoles with AVI cables. And that's all just recorded. It's recorded in real time. I tend to record in 20 or 30-minute chunks just because I know, like, oh, this is me fighting this boss that's in that video.
Yes. Yeah.
This is me doing
Nice.
that part. It's in that video. Whereas some of the YouTubers will literally they'll play a game start to finish, so they'll have like 5 hours of footage to trawl through. Where if
Yeah.
everyone's in
Yeah.
20-minute chunks, I know roughly I can literally scrub through and preview to rename the files before I import them into editing. So they're like, oh, this is boss fight in whatever game, to make it easier to edit that way. So it's quite a nice little streamlined system at the moment.
Yeah. Sounds really
But
cool,
yeah,
mate.
that's
Really nice little slick setup there. Enables you to do everything. And are you porting in console games? You're not a PC gamer. You're a console gamer, Mac gamer.
well, I actually use a Mac, so I'm using an iMac. So I don't play a lot of PC games, and or any. I've got Steam, but to be honest, my iMac is like 6 years old now. It can just about
Mm.
still run Portal,
Yep.
which I've got. I was trying to play the Stanley Parable the other day because it went super cheap on Steam. So I thought, oh, I could do some capturing for this, but I've just got this one horrendous like screen tear line in the middle of it because obviously my RAM's not high enough to keep up with the VSync. So I guess I can't capture directly from that, but I just prefer capturing from the consoles, really.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have started because I've got the PlayStation Classic console, and I've got like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic.
Nice.
Which if there's a game I want to review or want to capture, I'll capture through them because their HDMI upscales them, so they look better through
Of
capture.
course, got you. Yeah, yeah.
Because recording a lot through AVI, it gets really fuzzy. A lot of my reviews, if I'm recording older consoles, they just look super fuzzy, and to the point where I'm kind of not super happy with when I'm considering getting a frame scaler so I can actually have better quality
Just upscale it a bit, yeah.
like video input. Yeah, to better quality. I bought one on Amazon for like $5, and it's a piece of crap. So I actually think I get like a proper one, like the ones that are a couple of £100, just it
Yeah, yeah.
makes them. It actually does it properly, like upscales like pixel by pixel, and not just like, yep, it's HDMI now. Honest, it's like it's not.
Fingers crossed behind their back.
Yeah. There's only been one instance in a video where I've actually used an emulator, and that's just because I didn't actually physically have the game. So I had a Mega Drive emulator through my computer, and I just did a screen share through QuickTime Pro, and just literally screen captured it. Had no audio because you can't capture audio through QuickTime Pro, so just put a song over the top of it. But yeah, I'd much rather use the actual consoles and capture from the actual source than kind of emulate it.
Okay, that's cool, mate. That's cool. Well, thinking about that, then, so we're coming to the end now, and I want to catch you off guard a little bit. I want to ask you a couple of quick fire questions. Favorite console?
Okay. Oh God, Sega Saturn.
Favorite
I
game?
absolutely of all time.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is supposed to be quickfire. There's a game on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 called Psychonauts, which for the longest time, anyone said my favorite game, I've said that, but I think it's probably Tony Hawk 2.
Oh yes, yes, yes! Oh mate, absolutely. Look, right, we're going to go for another half hour now because we're just going to talk about Tony Hawk 2. I am so excited for the remake, reimagining, the re-release. Oh mate, I literally cannot wait. I'm so glad you brought that up because I would have forgot, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to be fantastic.
I think Tony Hawk is my favorite franchise of all time. Like since that announcement, I've been playing through them all again. I'm actually going to go on Twitch. If you follow me on Twitch, I'm going to be playing through the original Tony Hawk. I've never 100%ed the very first Tony Hawk game because there's one level I hate that I just tend to skip through to get the points to get to the end of the game.
Call yourself a hardcore gamer.
Well, hardcore gamer.
I think we're done, mate. I think we're done.
Games.
That's it.
That's it. It's over. Cut it.
Yeah, we're done. Martin, cut it.
But yeah, that
amazing.
Just to sidetrack slightly, that when that announcement came out, I watched the live stream. So as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remaster was announced, I was watching it live. The second that live stream finished, I went to Games website and pre-ordered the collector's edition
with the skateboard.
That comes with the actual skateboard. Yeah, it's just going to go on the wall. It'll be behind me at some point when the game comes out.
Nice. Well, when you hit a million subscribers, then maybe we'll try. We'll probably have to pay a fee, but we'll try and get you back on, and we can have a look at the skateboard in the back.
Sounds good. Or just watch it on YouTube.
So Sam,
got like 320
or we can just do that. Yeah, that's fine. That'd be much cheaper for me. I think much cheaper for me. So I mentioned earlier that my stepson is an avid gamer. I do actually run a channel for him. He's learning all the time. He loves streaming to Mixer. Then I download the video. We sit together, edit the MP4, little intro. Sometimes we get his face cam and we do some stuff. He absolutely loves it. So he's only 11. So obviously, I have to run the channel for him because he's not old enough to actually do it himself. But, obviously the gamers are starting young. He is excellent at most of the games that he plays because, we didn't grow up with the power that the PS4 and Xbox has, for the past kind of few years. So what if you were to give 3 tips to an avid gamer wanting to create YouTube videos, wanting to start out, what 3 things would you suggest that they do?
I would say look at your setup. I guess. You can do it really cheaply and really easily, especially if you're playing a lot of stuff on PC. All you need is a computer and software to capture what you're playing. And you can use your inbuilt mic if you want to do cam. A lot of computers have got built-in webcams now. So just kind of look at what your limitations are and what you can make out of them, really. I would say don't expect to get famous. A lot of kids, like, they love watching, like, who are the big streamers nowadays? People like Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie, even Markiplier, people like that. And they watch those videos and they expect that they're going to start a YouTube channel and suddenly have 5 million subscribers. I think stay with it and expect that you're probably not going to get famous, but you might build a nice little community about it, which is kind of what I do it for. I do it for making my videos for myself because it's fun to do, but also kind of, I know that there's a few people that are going to watch and enjoy it, and someone's going to get a kick out of what I do. And then I would say just practice, I guess. It's
good.
I've done
advice.
I've done some Let's Plays and stuff before. I do a bit of Twitch streaming. It's really hard because you don't want to distract from what you're playing, so by screaming nonsense and stuff. But you don't want to sit there completely silent because people aren't going to want to engage. You've got to show your personality, show that you can talk about the game, show that you're fun to watch. I don't know anybody who watches stuff on YouTube, like streaming stuff, just because they want to watch the game. It's normally, Markiplier is playing this game. I want to see what Markiplier thinks of that.
The YouTuber.
I mean, there are channels that are quite successful that are literally just like World of Long Plays is one, where it's just like them playing a game. There's no talking, there's no interaction. It's just the footage of the game being played. So it is possible, but if you want to be a streamer, then you need to kind of have that personality, and that only comes with practice. So just practice, do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you think you're going to get famous. That'd be my advice.
I think that's really, really good. You're making me want to feel like I should just start doing some gamer videos, mate. But like I say, I ain't got the patience. I'd have 45 seconds and then a load of swearing, and then it would have to cut to black, and I probably wouldn't get very far with it at all. Mate, Sam, where can people find you? Yeah, mate, yeah. Let's have a little go. Tony Hawk 2. Let's have a little two-player standoff. That'd be sweet.
Yes. Let's play skate in Tony Hawk 2. Or horse, as it was in Tony Hawk 2. If you want to get in touch, I think the best place is my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/xHARDCOREGAMErx. I'm assuming you're going to put something on the screen so you can see it.
Indeed.
If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's exactly the same. It's youtube.com. No, it's Twitch. Sorry, twitch.tv/xHARDCOREGAMErx. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, which is where I spend most of my time, really, it's twitter.com/ was it @Sam_Palmer_37, which I'd like to change, but I can't because one of my friends got it tattooed on them.
Oh, another episode, maybe.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yes, very bizarre, but he just chose some friends to get Twitter, get his their Twitter handles tattooed on them.
Mate, that's pressure.
Otherwise,
that is pressure.
Otherwise, I change it to like @xHARDCOREGAMErx, but I can't. So thanks, Jim, for that.
Yeah, nice one. God, right, mate. So we've got less than a minute. So really quickly, I want you to tell everybody what that Power Ranger thing is in the background and why that's important.
The Power Ranger in the background. Okay, the Power Ranger in the background is a mannequin. It is basically because I co-run a charity organisation called PRUK, where we go to conventions and do appearances and things and raise money for Nordorf Robbins, which is a music charity. That is basically one of my old costumes that's on the mannequin, just there as basically a massive action figure. If I ever do events, I take the helmet, the gloves, and the belt and the boots off it. Amazing. Just leave the suit on because I've got a separate suit. So it's basically a big toy, but it's real.
Amazing, mate. Amazing.
Yeah.
And people believe it, right? I bet they see you as Red Power Ranger and like, oh, you said you're the blue? You do more of the blue?
I do more of the
Power Ranger now?
PRUK, the team I basically founded and I'm a member of, we have a full team of the original series Power Rangers. There's 6 of us, so we've got any particular event you could have blue, black, red, pink, yellow, and white, or blue, black, pink, yellow, red, and green, depending on which shows we do. So we've got a full team. So for that, I normally do blue. Because someone else has got a red suit and a blue suit. So it makes logistical sense. But I actually have 4 suits.
4? Wow.
4, yeah.
Incredible, mate. Incredible. Well, look, I mean, even doing stuff for charity, you're even bringing some of your passion and the stuff you love into the charity world. And I think that is absolutely fantastic, mate, and admirable. Listen, Sam, it's been so interesting, mate. Such a laugh having a chat with you about what it is that you do, how you got into it, and your channel. I hope that people will go and check you out. I'll certainly be constantly following. And yeah, let's catch up, mate, when Tony Hawk 2 comes out, because I am keen.
100%.
So keen.
We'll do that. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been really fun.
Yeah, man.
Actually.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it, mate. I've enjoyed it. Well, I hope the rest of your filming goes well today. I'll look out for the new video, mate. And yeah, we'll catch up soon. Cheers, Sam.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
So, guys, that was episode 4. Sam Palmer, xHARDCOREGAMErx on YouTube. Check him out. If you have a bit of nostalgia for games, if you love gaming, even if you're just a little bit of a casual player, Sam's got some really, really cool stuff on his channel. Really urge you to go and check him out. And that was a really fun chat. I had a lot of laughs and a lot of nostalgia thinking about some of the games that I used to play. Please do subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed today's episode. We're on episode 4. Can't believe it now. That's a full month of interviews that we've got. We've got another couple of months lined up. We've got some fantastic people coming up. Please do give the channel a subscribe. Over on the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Video Lowdown. You can give that a like and leave us a review if you're feeling so very kind. That would be greatly appreciated. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.